Okay, so today is my last day of quarantine. Really, it was yesterday, but I just wanted to take an extra day. Yes, I had COVID, and so did my mom. Check this out. My mom is 77 years old, went in the hospital, was having like breathing problems here at the house. Come to find out, she had double pneumonia and COVID, and she has two pre existing conditions. Once I found that out, that she got diagnosed, and I went the very next day, got tested, and my results came back 2 days later, positive. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to death for mom. But her doctor calls me from the hospital and he goes, your mom has an immune system of an ox. Like, what is she doing? Because she's fighting this virus on her own. So I told him about all this different supplements and stuff that she takes, and he was like, wow. He was like, whatever it is, keep doing it. Do you do it? I said, yes. And I want to share with you the things that we did because it's very important. COVID is not a joke, you guys. I know people that have lost, people that made it through, people that barely made it through. So here's how we came out on top. All these wonderful supplements that you see here, what the vitamin C, the zinc, the D3, these are elderberry capsules, selenium. This is excellent for fighting viruses. I saw a doctor on YouTube one night who was talking about this as it pertained to COVID. And what did I do? I went and did maybe 2 days of research on this stuff and was amazed to find out how good this is, especially for COVID, and especially for elderly. They said that they noticed that a lot of the elderly patients who were getting it real, real bad and were even dying, that they noticed that they had low selenium, very low levels of selenium in their system. I'm not saying this is going to prevent, an elderly person from dying, but I'm just giving you the information. You can look it up yourself, of course. This is the liquid elderberry, and you need your black seed oil by all means. And this here is vitamin A. You see it even says immune health on it. I make my own sea moss. I go to a place here in Atlanta called Fruits and Veggies. It's on Campbellton Road and Delow Drive. The young man that owns it, his name is Morrow. He's an African guy, and I get all of my fresh herbs from him. This here, you guys, these are elderberries, okay? These are real elderberries, and what do? I make tea out of this. This is my turmeric. Understand something. If you don't have black pepper with this, then it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and the reason that you're taking it is for inflammation and all sorts of other things, but you've got to add your black pepper. This is Cole's foot leaf. This is for very good for just your upper respiratory, your bronchial, for breathing, and it clears away the mucus. This is another good one. This is burdock root. All of this is for cold and for immune system. Here we have oregano. You would not believe. Do your research. Oregano. Okay, my nail is awful. It came off 2 nights ago. I told you I've been on quarantine, you guys, so I'm totally overdue to get my nails done. But oregano, either oil of oregano or oregano itself, extremely good. This right here looks very similar to this, but look at the size difference. These are the elderberries. They're big, and these little bitty, this is black seed. Okay, so I get everything natural, and this is sea moss. So check this out. You know how they have like the gold sea moss and they have like the purple? That's all this is dried sea moss. So be careful when you're making it for tea, because if you don't drink it as soon as you make it while it's hot, it will start to gel up on you and will become just like regular sea moss, like in a gel. So when I'm making this with my teas, I put very little, because I also take my sea moss gel that I make myself, of course. But I'm saying all this to say, I come from a family that has always taken care. Like, I was born in New York, and my parents used to, one of the businesses they had was they owned a herb shop. And every single herb under the sun, whether it was for cooking or whether we would use it for just health. So before COVID hit, in like February of 2020, I was taking like maybe 3 things on this table. But as it went along and I started reading and, and listening, I started incorporating more. You can't OD on supplements, and you definitely can't OD on sea moss. Sea moss is something that everybody should be taking every single day. And I mean every day. I don't have enough time and I don't want to sit here and talk about each one of these things individually, but just please do your research. I'm going to list everything, but I'm going to give you a story. My mom was in the hospital with her COVID. She went in for 3 days, and we got it from a visiting family member that was here staying in the house with us over the holidays for like 3 nights. And of course, they didn't know that they had it, but they did. And we should have gotten, we should have asked them to get a test, which we did, but it turned out that they didn't. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just very glad to be able to tell this story and to show the things that made me and Mom come out on top. Like, we really came out on top, you guys. I was really scared because Mom is 77 years old. Mom has 2 pre-existing conditions, and she has a history of having pneumonia. This is like her 10th time getting pneumonia, and it was double pneumonia when she went in the hospital. So in the hospital, no oxygen needed. A very small round of steroids was needed, and the doctors were calling me every day, giving me updates. And, he said one day, your mom has an immune system like an ox, because her body is fighting this disease on its own. This virus on its own. So I was very glad to hear that. And I was telling him all the things that we do here at the house, and he was blown away. And any doctor will tell you, you guys, you got to keep your immune system strong. It's not enough for you to go out and eat your fast food and come home and take a multivitamin and sea moss once a day. That's not it. You have got to fortify your immune system by all means. You have got to. And any doctor will tell you. As a matter of fact, once they diagnose you, these are the 4 things that they tell you. Zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, and elderberry. This is the elderberry liquid, but like I said, you can get it in capsule form too. But all of these, the A, immune health. This fights virus. These 2 right here, the black seed oil and the sea moss, you should be taking these on a daily basis any day, with or without COVID. But you cannot. A lot of people walk around with no masks, and they think that this is a joke, and they say, "Oh, I've not had it. I haven't caught it all this time." What have you, this, that, the other. Let me tell you something. It's either going to go one or 2 ways. Either you'll catch it and be asymptomatic like me and my mother and not have any symptoms. For me, mine was just fatigue. I had fatigue, and then I would get an occasional headache. But fatigue so much to the point that if I went upstairs and tried to make breakfast for my family, I may have cracked like 4 eggs. The minute I even start to stir them, my energy level would go so low and I would be so tired. It's like I couldn't even make the eggs and would have to sit down. Like, it was like that. And what I started doing was taking everything, and I doubled up on my zinc, my elderberry, and my vitamin C so that I can get that energy back, and it would gradually come back. But I say all this to say, you got to stay safe. You have to take this serious. They're saying there's a new strand out there, and a lot of people laugh it off, and they say, again, it's fake, or blah, blah, blah. Listen, to each his own. Some people, I know people who have it right now. I know people who have died from it. I know people who have had other complications after it. And I know people who had a hard time pulling through. So most people feel like, oh, it hasn't happened to anybody or it hasn't affected anybody that is close to me. But listen, take this thing serious, just so you'll know. By taking all these supplements is not to say that you won't get it, but you won't be affected by symptoms. Your symptoms will be so very mild that it's not even funny. And I just had to share this news because it could have totally went the other way with my mom. My mom has a history of having pneumonia, and when she went in, she had double pneumonia on top of COVID and was only in there for 3 nights, you guys. All because of this. All because of what you see in front of me. You guys, that's my eucalyptus thing. I love this. I put any type of aromatherapy oil in there with some water. It turns colors. It's Alexa. If I'm in my bed and I don't feel like getting out of the bed to turn it off, then I'm like, oh no. Or if I don't like the color of pink in my room with all my lights out, I can say, Alexa, turn my machine blue. And it'll turn it blue. Bad to the bone. Right now it's blowing out eucalyptus because I have eucalyptus oil in there. But it's all relevant. And I just made this video because I want everybody to stay safe. Prevent death. Share this information with your family. This is a must, people. Like, honestly speaking, it is a must. Everything on this table is very necessary. Everything. And there's something else that I'm going to tell you guys about in another video that a friend of mine turned me on to, and a lot of people don't know about it at all. And it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. But thanks for listening, and sayonara. Stay safe.